Mr. Lagwaja, take your Bible and pen. He has a table, a proper table and chair in his room. You will sit down and he'll be dictating to you. You must not miss one word. Where it says comma, you must not miss it. When you are writing the word, you must not write the spelling wrongly. And you must be able to read it the way you read it to you. If you cannot do that, you are on your own. That day you hear your life history. It will not beat you. But the way you'll be talking to you, you will feel like, just slap me and let me go now. You'll be wishing that he should just slap you. So you will just know that you have done something wrong and go. But he will not slap you. He will be tongue lashing you and be giving you one. He can talk to you for 30 minutes. You feel like entering the ground. But later in life, he wished that he will call you and want you to sit down with him. He wants to take you out, and we will be feeling uncomfortable because we are not used to relating with him like that. Because he has also set some boundaries that is restricting us. So as you're also setting boundaries too, you need to be careful the kind of boundaries you are saying. And this affects us men. Pastor Femi, please be careful when you are setting boundaries in the house. I'm sorry, I'm using it as an example. Be careful when you are setting boundaries in the house. Because those boundaries, whether you like it or not, when we are trying to establish discipline, you can overdo it. And it will move from discipline to fear. And it kills the children first. Your wife can still understand and still be able to face you once in a while, but the children won't be able to face you. So you will have killed their self-esteem over time. Okay? So my dad will wish you sit down with him. He will want to talk to you. He'll be telling you about things. And I'll be like, Daddy, finish now. I want to go. You know why? Because I'm not used to it. And I'm also afraid of what to say to him. So that I will not say what he will say. Where did you get that from? Baby. So you'll be choosing the words carefully. He tried his best to, smoothen, those things, but he had set some boundaries. So I want to encourage us that as we are also setting those boundaries, we need to be careful. Now, children, I want to turn to the young people now. Young people, most of the time, you always feel that you have a right to demand from anything you want from your parents. You are very wrong. You don't have the right to demand it. It's a privilege that you are their children. Because in actual fact, you can actually be a child to anybody. It is God's choice to place you in that family. So if you have found yourself being placed in an affluent family, just count yourself lucky. It's not an entitlement. So it doesn't mean that my dad is rich. I want this one. I want that one. You should give me. It's a fact lie. You are as good as the child of your gate man, of your house. So when your father does anything from you, or your mother does anything for you, appreciate it. Learn to say thank you. Don't see it as your right. Because it's the same way with God. Most of us are very ungrateful. I don't know how many times we even remember to say, God, thank you for yesterday. Instead of saying that, we say, God, you just wake up. God, I want this one. I want that one. I want it one. Have you even thanked him for what he did yesterday? Did you even thank him for waking up? It's not your right. Because you have 2, 3 fathers that you relate with. The Heavenly Father, your earthly father, and your spiritual father. Do you appreciate them in any way? Do you appreciate your spiritual parents? You don't. Most of us don't. When it's last time we even looked at you and said, Daddy, thank you. Because he goes the extra mile to pray, to fast for us, to do several things for us. Have you ever wondered that he even deserves thank you? Thank you, Daddy. We appreciate you for what you do. Thank you, sir. So, as young people, like I said, the word boundaries affect us the most because we don't even know what it is. We don't know what it's used for. Not to waste our time, I'll quickly go to communication. Communication is the lifeblood of relationships. And we can see that in the book of Proverbs chapter 18 from verse 13. Somebody can quickly just read for us. Proverbs 18:13, sorry. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 13. It talks about effective communication as a key to understanding. Proverbs 18. Anybody? Please read for us. Thank you very much.
Shame unto him.
Thank you very much. You can say, he that answereth a matter before he heareth, it is folly unto him. Like I said, the word boundaries affect us, the youth, more. Maybe your mom is talking to you and said, stop that. Hey, mommy, what did I do now? Hey, I've not done anything. Have you even listened to what she's trying to tell you? She won't just say stop that without a reason. There's a reason for her to say, stop that. That even land. Stop that, don't do that. Maybe like, at least listen. Most of the time, we don't listen. We only want to communicate. And communication is a two-way thing. It's a two-way gap. You would relate with something, they relate back with you. Now, why boundaries and communication? Now, there are several options I have here, but I will just touch on two. The first is that they reflect God's character. What is God's character? Kindness, tender-heartedness, and forgiveness. So when you refuse to forgive your neighbor, I'm sorry, you are actually saying that you are not a child of God. Because that's a very big trait that God has. Always forgiving us when we hear or do something wrong. God is also tender-hearted. Are you tender-hearted? That is, are you tender-hearted? When we do something wrong, are you always quick to wanting to rebuke us or to even find out why we have done what we have done? Our parents, you need to try and also understand your children, because there are three things that determines the way a child behaves or acts. The first is that a child action is determined by the environment the child lives, the environment the child goes to school, and also the parents himself. Those are the three environments around a child. So when a child behaves in a particular way, the child is actually exhibiting a product of what you have imputed into the child. I told a friend at the time, I said, a man's life is like a book, like this book. It's what is written there that determines the value. Okay? So, when you see your child act in a particular way, know that it's a function of what you have written in the child, what the school have written in the child, what the environment has written in the child. So it's just exhibiting what was put into it. So it means as a parent too, you too have to be careful what you impute into yourself, because that's what you get back in return. Now, the second thing I want to touch on, why boundaries and communications matter, is that they enable us to love, serve others without burning out or becoming resentful. Okay? So, I've told you that when you want to get angry at somebody, remember it's God's image and likeness. So you won't have an option but to just love the person, even when they do things that are wrong. You have sinned today now. Can any of us tell you that you have not sinned today? But you will still pray now and God will answer you. Why? Because he loves you. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He's always giving, willing to give, even when you have done something wrong. So in the same way with you, you too should be willing to give, even when something is done wrong to you. Okay? So let us put it into our practical life every day, that as I relate with people around me, it is important that I establish that there is this boundary between me and this person. I cannot do what I like to them. In the same way, they too cannot do what they like to me. So we should always be expressive to say, this is how I want you to relate with me. I've been using Pastor Femi and Pastor Yetunde as examples all day. And I want to use them to close my teaching this afternoon. That Pastor Femi, always communicate to Pastor Yetunde that this is how I want you to relate with me. This is how I want to talk to you to talk to me, even when I get upset at you. I tell my wife that when I'm angry, don't talk back. Let me express my anger. When I'm not calm, you not tell me, you know that what you did that time is very, very wrong. I will not ask you, okay, what did I do? You will not, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. But you said something that got me upset. But at that time, I was getting angry. I said, what do you mean? Hey, you let it roll. The same way is what happens between you and your fellow human beings. So, God bless you. Thank you very much.
We'll take just 2 questions. Pastor Femi, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, we're in the afternoon already. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for using me as good example.
Thank you.
All right, this is my question. Creating boundaries.
Yes.
I've learned that it has so many advantages and also disadvantages. Especially if you are a leader, if you create boundaries, you allow people to be free with you, and you flow with them as if all of you are one. There are certain information that you have privilege to get when you keep distance from them. And in the other way around, when you are very far away from them, some people might see you as probably being proud or something. So how do you balance it together so that you are not too close, you are not too far, at the same time you still maintain your steez?
Hey, let's go there.
Thank you very much. I like that question. It's a very good question that I would love to
Sir, can
answer.
we take the 2 questions at the same time?
Okay.
Second question. Who has a question? Okay, I have a question. Okay, please go ahead. I don't have any question.
Okay.
When we talk about boundaries and communications, I want to ask this question in the context of we have youths here. Most of them are probably above 18, and some are below 18, and some are above 20s. When it comes to relationship or trying to find the right person to settle down with, how does a lady set boundaries? Because I've often heard that if a guy does not ask you out, you don't assume that you are in a relationship with him. Can a lady be very close to a guy? Can they be? Thank you, ma'am. Can a lady be close to a guy and she's unassuming? And how does she set boundaries so that while she's in friendship with that person and the guy does not have any motive in mind, she does not assume that he's interested in her, and she begins to chase away potential people. Please, sir, how does she set boundaries? How does the guy also set boundaries? How do they define the friendship? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I was trying to answer the first one. Pastor Femi, your question is a very good one, and it affects a lot of employers. Most employers are very, very high-handed, and they don't have any relationship with their employees. I'm sorry, you will not know what's going on under you, because it will shock you to know that your security man might be the solution to a particular challenge that you have that is disturbing your business. But because, like I said, you have set some high boundaries for yourself, you will not know. I used to do something several years back in a particular business my wife and I was involved with. I called it village meeting. I learned it from one of the places that I've worked. At that village meeting, everybody is one, including the CEO. You have equal right at that meeting. Nobody is CEO. And we dump the issues that we feel that are on the burner for the company on the table. And everybody starts to contribute. Nobody will hold you accountable or castigate you for whatever you say. At that point, if it's the CEO that is behaving in a particular way, you can say it. Outside that meeting, we go back to our normal mode. So it was at that village meeting at the Odukales, which were the owners of that business at that time, get information from employees. And they actually converted some of us who are contract staff to permanent staff because of that, because they started discovering talents. So people will say what they like, express their minds. And you will be able to know as a leader where you are hearing and where you are not. You know, so you can set such boundaries as an employer. You determine how you want to relate with your employees. It doesn't mean that outside the meeting that somebody will do something wrong. I will not say because we were one at the village meeting, I will not scold you. I will scold you. So because the village meeting was meant for proper communication, I want to hear you directly, who you are, from you. And I want you to talk to me. Also, I want to be able to talk to you without resentment, without reservations. So that way you'll be able to, you know, bring out the best from your employees. Okay? Thank you very much. So going to the second question, it's also very, very important. Most young ladies have been messed up because of that question. Because people don't know how to define relationship. Every relationship must be defined. Mr. Lagbaja is my friend. He has not come to say, I want to marry you. So if he has not said, I want to marry you, you don't have to be close to him. What are you going to do in his house? You know, if somebody is just your friend, especially from male to female, you are supposed to meet in public places, not in private places. Okay? So you don't start to assume that this lady likes me. Meanwhile, you don't like him to that extent. You just like him as a friend. So, and you must be able to also express it to him. Like, this is what and what we are. Communication. So the person will feel that when you do something, that you're actually doing something also wrong. Most young people feel that they can relate with the opposite sex anyhow. It's wrong, especially male and female. Even for male and male, you must still set boundaries. I remember when I was at the university, we were 8 boys living in a particular building. Every one of them in that building smokes except me. Yes. Some of them even smoke weed at that time. I was the only one that does not smoke. And one particular day, my landlord called me and said I should come. I came. He said, Joe, Kí to give him music, I be ọ̀rẹ́. I just smiled. I laughed. And he was wondering why I was smiling. The reason why I was smiling is that you cannot make me do what I don't want to do. Every habit I cultivate, I investigate it. Is it good for me? Is it addictive? Most young people just jump to habits because Mr. Lagbaja is doing something. Mr. B too, I want to do it. Have you found out what value will that thing have to me? What will it also take from me? Because I will tell you that what can add value to you can also take something from you. We all agree that water is good for the body. But if you drink water too much, it will disturb you. Do you get that? What can add value from you can also take from you. So it's a function of how you use that thing. So, what I'm saying in essence is that boundaries is the key to what you just asked me. You must determine how you want to relate with the person. Now, if you feel that you have feelings for the person, you have to communicate, and the feelings must be established. So you both know what you are doing. Because in the house of God, before such relationship will happen between a male and your female, your pastor must know about it. Is that clear? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We will not go beyond this, but I believe that when we're going to have a singles program, we'll be able to go beyond this level that we have taken this boundaries and communications topic. Right now, I'd like to recognize and welcome Pastor Mrs. Adeyi. She's from, please just give me a moment. Pastor Mrs. Betty Joshua Adeyi. She's the Deputy General Overseer of the World Glorious Liberty and Praise Ministries here in Akure. Right now, you are welcome, ma. You are welcome, mommy. Right now, we are supposed to go on break. And it is obviously raining. And we have just boundaries coded to communicate. Nísìnyí tójò ń rọ̀, ṣá lè wọnú òjò lọ sí break. Ẹ ní sùúrù, please hold on, please hold on. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe bí bàbá wa ṣe máa ń ṣe, so that kò ní sí issue. If you want to go for break, say yay. The yay has it. Please hold on. We go for break for the next 20 minutes. Then the choir administration starts, everybody comes in so that we can start the lecture, the afternoon session immediately. So that be on or before 3 p.m. we are free to go and break our fast and come back for revival. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. We have communicated though. Let us do the needful. God bless us.